Okay, so I've powered without the sensors, so I want to see the display if I don't connect the sensors. Okay, so we have EO1 and then EO2. So on page 7 of the manual, you can see the meaning of each one. So we have P01, which means your temperature sensor is faulty. Alright, P02 means your humidity sensor is faulty. So I'm going to connect those and then turn it back on. So anytime you have EO1, it means you have a problem with your temperature sensor. P02 means you have a problem with your humidity sensor. So I have a client who complained he was having E02, meaning his humidity sensor was faulty. So I made him check the connection, the wires here was okay, but then inside this, one of the wires was loose. So what you do is you open the cover. And when you do, you realize the wires are supposed to be connected somewhere. So let me just try and do that. And the sensor is very expensive, well, relatively expensive. I'm putting my nails in and then putting my nails in here too. Yeah, so this is how it is. So one of his wires was loose. Alright, so what he did was to solder it back in, and then he got his E02 solved. So when you are done, you just cover it back and you are good to go. Alright, so let me connect and then get back. Now the sensor is supposed to be connected to 16 and 17. Alright, so I'm going to do that. 16 and 17 is here. Okay, so you can hear the sound. And for safety reasons, you should turn the controller off before doing this, but I'm somewhat experienced, so I'm doing it whilst it's on, okay, so that I don't have electrocutions and stuff. So I'm done connecting the temperature sensor. So you can see the temperature is now displaying 32.1. okay, now let's connect the humidity. Let's connect the humidity sensor. Okay, yes, so yes, so we have our humidity, that's E02 error off. Okay, now it's beeping because of HH, which means the humidity is higher than the set humidity. Okay, this is the set temperature and this is the set humidity, which is 50. Alright, so 63 is high. So these are things you can set, and then we are going to do that in this video, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to silence it. You can silence it with any button. Okay, so I'm using the power button to silence the alarm. All right. Okay, so to describe the controller a bit more, let's look at page 1, okay, where they've listed the capacity of the various relays. Okay, so for the main heater, the relay is a capacity of 7.5 amps. Okay, so let's do the calculation. They are using 250, based on 250 volts AC. So if you have 7.5 amps times 250 volts, you are getting about 1800 watts. Okay, so if your heater is about 1800 watts and below, it's safe to use the the controller straight. Okay, like connect your heater straight to the controller. But if it's more than this wattage, then you need a contactor. Okay, so you let the controller pass through the contactor before it goes to the heater. Okay, but for safety reasons, very important, you don't use the the maximum. You apply a safety factor, and then so let's say 1500 watts and below. Okay, your heater should be 1500 watts and below if you want to connect the heater straight to this. All right, but if you have a contactor between the controller and the heater, then you are safe to use any wattage of heater. Okay, so that's that. So the same applies to, we have the auxiliary heater, also 7.5 amps. Then the humidity relay, also 7.5 amps. We have the lamp. Okay, the lamp for viewing, that's 7.5 amps. Okay, yeah, so if you have a halogen lamp, you can use, if that's an option. We have the air exhaust control relay. Okay, that one is 3 amps. Okay, usually it's a small fan, all right, that extracts the extra heat, so that's just 3 amps. We have the egg turner, that's 1 amp. Usually it's a small motor, 1 amp. And then we have the alarm relay. Okay, if you watch my part 1 of this video, I talked about external alarm. Okay, alarm components. So if you want to connect an external alarm or an external siren to this controller, you have a capacity of 1 amp. Okay, then the SSR, this a bit complex, we'll tackle in another video. That's the SSR. So anything SSR you can ignore for now. Okay, so let's go through some few things. This controller has a lot of functions, and you just have to ignore some and use the ones that are relevant to you. Let's look at this table on page 1. On page 1, we have this symbol, okay, the power symbol. All right, so if you keep it depressed for 3 seconds, you are turning it off, and then online. All right, so this is how the display is when you are using it to control the various systems: humidifier, heater, exhaust fan, the siren, and all that. All right, now there's a way to put it offline so that it only tells you the temperature and the humidity. It does not control anything. All right, so you press and hold the power button, you press and hold, and then it goes offline. All right, this offline, so it has shut the machine down, but the sensors are working. Only the sensors are working. If I hold the temperature sensor, you can see it responding to my temperature. Okay, the temperature of my hand. Yes, so that's all it does. It does not give power for the various systems to work. It only lets the sensor work and then display whatever reading it is. All right, if you want to bring it online so that it starts controlling the various parts, then this is to make it brighter. Then you press and hold the power button to bring it back online. All right, so this is the online mode when it's supposed to control everything. Then we have the set symbol. This is the set symbol. All right, this is a set symbol. That's it right here. This is a set symbol. We have the up and down button, up and down for adjusting the values. We have the enter button. Okay, if you want to confirm something, you press the enter button. We have the refresh button. Okay, if you press and hold this, what is going to happen is you are factory resetting everything to default. Okay, to default. So if you press it once, if you just tap it once, it's like you are returning to the main screen. Let's say you are trying to change a value and you change your mind, you don't want to change it again, you just tap it and then it will return to the main screen. All right, but if you long press, you are resetting the whole settings. Okay, yes. And then we have the function, this for some other purpose, the FN. All right, we'll talk about it. And then we have the lamp. Okay, the lamp button. All right, so if you want to turn on the light for viewing, you just press, it goes off, you press, it comes on. All right, yes. And then yeah, there are a few more symbols. I don't know if you can see it clearly. We have something that looks like a flame, a bigger one and a smaller one with +1. Okay, yes. So the bigger flame is for the main heater, the smaller flame is for the auxiliary heater. So once these flames are on, they are telling you your heater should be on. All right, when they disappear, then it tells you your heater should not be working. All right, so that's that. We have the fan for ventilation or for exhaust. That's the symbol for the fan. Okay, and then we have the one for the lights for viewing. Okay, so I've turned it off. Then we have the set temperature, the set humidity. Okay, but this is the actual temperature, 32.1. This is the actual humidity, 64.4. Right now, according to the settings, it's high. That's why it's alarming. All right, if I want to, assuming I want to set the temperature, I'll tap the set button. Okay, I'll tap the set button. You see this blinking. All right, then use the arrow button to change. Okay, so this is the one quick way of setting your temperature and humidity. So I want the temperature, the heater to stop heating at 37.8. okay, after you adjust, you press set. It will give you the chance to also change the humidity. So let's say I want my humidity at 66. Okay, what you do is you press set. Oh, you press enter. Yeah, you have to press enter to confirm that that's the settings you've done. And then, as you can see, the set humidity is 66 and the actual one is 64, so it sees it as normal. All right, that's why you can see it's stable now. Okay, yes. So for incubation, I like to use 37.8 and then I like to use 60. So I'm setting it already 37. Then I'm going to reduce this by, yeah, then enter. All right, very simple. Okay, so there's the day counter. Okay, there's the day counter, and then there's the countdown for the turning. Okay, so if it's turning to the left, usually we have left turn, right turn. So if it's turning to the left, we have this symbol, okay, like a dot with a smile. Okay, and then if it's turning to the right, we have this symbol. All right, they are all on page 2. Okay, so in order not to waste time, let me take you through page 3. All right, everything is there, the meaning and the default settings, the temperature at which the heater should go off, the temperature at which the auxiliary heater should go off, and all that. All right, so to get into that settings mode, what we are going to do is we are going to press the set button and the enter button. All right, we are going to hold them for 5 seconds at the same time. So let's go. Yes, so you see this, it gives you the chance to put a password on it, so that without a password no one can change. So by default is 000. I'm going to keep it that way. Now I'm pressing enter. Okay, we have T10. all right, the meaning of T10 on page 3 is the temperature control mode. All right, just leave it at 0. If you select 1 or 2, it's a different meaning. That's if you are using the SSR. Okay, so just ignore that, keep it at 0. Now you are going to press set. all right, if you press set, it will give you the chance to change the next parameter, which is T11. Now T11 is the temperature at which the temperature, the heater will go off, the main heater will go off. So I like to use 37.8 for my incubator. Okay, so I'm leaving it at that. I'm pressing set. Now this is the hysteresis. all right, the T12 is the main temperature hysteresis. Okay, so I'm saying my main heater should go off at 37.8. Usually I like it to come back on at 37.5. okay, so the difference, 37.8 minus 37.5, you are getting 0.3. okay, so this difference is the hysteresis. okay, so well, I didn't press anything, so it returned to the main menu. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back. Okay, so that's it. The main hysteresis. Let me quickly explain the auxiliary heater hysteresis. That's heater 2. okay, usually assuming you want your auxiliary heater to only help the main heater up to 36.0 degrees Celsius. okay, if you only want your auxiliary heater to help the main heater up to this point, then it means 37.8 minus 36.0 is going to be that's 1.8. okay, so this is going to be the hysteresis for your auxiliary heater. okay, that means your auxiliary heater will only work when it gets to 36.0. it will stop and leave the main heater to also continue up to 37.8. okay, so 0.3 hysteresis for main heater, 1.8 hysteresis for the supporting heater. okay, now the reason why you might want to do that is if you leave the two heaters, heater 1 and heater 2, to all heat up and end at and stop at 37.8. If your heater is a heating coil type, the heater will go off, but the coil is still hot. okay, so that's going to add extra heat. okay, so we just let the auxiliary heater just stop along the way and leave the main heater. So let's get this back. So settings and the enter, hold, press and hold. Yes, I'm getting this. For the password, press enter. Now I'm going to press set. I'm going to press set to skip. Yes, so we are at T12. T12 is the main heater hysteresis, which is 0.3. So I'm going to increase it 0.3. all right, now I'm going to press set. Now T13 is the hysteresis for auxiliary heater, okay, and I said that's going to be 1.8. okay, you can do it any value you want, so just go through the explanation I made and select one for yourself. This T14, just leave it at 0. That's the delay. Okay, if you've set the heater to go off at 37.8, do you want it to delay when it gets to 37.8? okay, or you want it to immediately go off when it gets to 37.8? So if you want it to immediately go off when it's 37.8 immediately, all right, then you put it at 0 seconds. That means you don't want any delay. But if you want it to delay for, let's say, 10 seconds, let's say the temperature gets to 37.8, you want it to delay for 10 seconds before shutting off, then you choose this. all right, so I'll advise you just use 0. okay, press set. You can still use 1 second or just use 0, okay, because I want everything to be immediate. all right, so yeah, all these are going to be 0. Press set. Now T20 is the temperature calibration. okay, in my other videos I explained the calibration. You can check it out, or just a quick one. If you suspect your temperature sensor is 40, all right, and you want to offset it, or you want to set it, let's say you know the temperature should be 30 degrees, but your sensor is telling you it's 20 degrees. That means it's off by 10. all right, so you use this to adjust it. all right, so as it's new and I'm trusting this, okay, or better still, you can check it with a more accurate thermometer. all right, you keep it at 0. T20. Now I'm pressing enter, set button. Now T21 is the high temperature warning point. okay, high temperature warning point. Yeah, keep it at 0.3. that's the default. Then we have T22, that's the low temperature warning relative. okay, so the default is this. Now yes, I'm only going to be changing the important ones if you are using this for incubation. So okay, going back, I have to get this. So T21, I'm only going to change the important ones, okay, in case you are looking into incubators. So I'm not going to change T22 also, keep it at default. Now T23 is the high temperature alarm point. okay, so there's a point at which it will give you the alarm that the temperature is high. I like 38.5, so I'll keep it that way. Then the T24 is the low alarm value, so I'm keeping it at 35. That's the point it will signal me it's low temperature. Then we have T30. okay, T30, T31, T32, they are for the SSR. okay, so ignore that. Then we have we have H10. okay, that's either you want to use it as humidifier or you want to use it as dehumidifier. all right, so mostly in my region the humidity is low, so we use it as a humidifier. okay, so that it will turn on something that will increase the humidity, so we'll leave it at 1. If you are in a region where your humidity is already high and you are rather looking at reducing the humidity, then you use it as dehumidifier. all right, so we use it as a humidifier now. and then H20 is the humidity set point. Okay, so I want a humidity setting of 60. All right, so at 60 the humidifier will go off. Okay, then we have H21, that's the humidity hysteresis. Okay, so assuming I want it to work between 55% of humidity and 60% of humidity. All right, the difference is 5. So anytime you hear hysteresis, it's just talking about the gap, the difference. Okay, so I'm leaving it at 5. Okay, so it's going to work between 55% and 60%. So I'm pressing the settings. That's H22 is calibration for humidity. Okay, yeah, then 23 is the delay. So I don't want any delay. The moment it hits the set point, it should start or stop. So I'm keeping it at 0 seconds or minutes. All right, then we have H24, that's the warning point. Okay, relative warning point, so keep it at 5. Then we have the H25 being the low alarm point. So it's going to alarm at anything below 45%. And then the H24, what came was 5. Okay, it means if it goes above the set point by 5 points, then it will alarm. All right, so there's a lot this can do. This is the use. When you go into the use, you are looking at the turning. So this U11, okay, the turning functions. All right, the timing. All right, so this is 120 minutes. So what it means is it will turn to the right for 120 minutes, it will turn to the left for 120 minutes. All right, so if you want to, for incubator, I think this okay, where you'll be using limit switches for your motor. Yeah, if you want to change the time, the duration for the turning, initially I told you it's already set to 120 minutes. So if you want your motor to be turning maybe 60 minutes rather, you are going to change U11, all right, and then U13. Okay, so currently we want 2 hours turning, so we have U11 at 120 and then U13 at 120. Assuming I want the turning to be 1 hour, then it's going to be I'll change the U11 to 60 and then the U13 also to 60. All right, yes, so 120 is okay. And you can just go through and change whatever parameter you think should be changed to your specification. Yes, so if you have any questions, any comments, let's say you want a particular settings, just comment below, describe how you want your settings to be, or how you want how you want the components to behave. Yes, if you just comment below how you want it to behave, and then I'll write out the settings for you, what you should set, what parameters to set. All right, so just comment below if this video helped you. Leave a thumbs up and then subscribe. Stay tuned because I have more videos coming up. All right, just subscribe, turn on the notification button. If you have any questions, you want me to do a video on anything, just let me know, comment below. All right, thanks for watching.